Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really sorry that I didn't do a video last week. My boyfriend and I were celebrating our 10-year anniversary of being together and we had a bit of a party, and then I was actually really not very well, sort of like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which is when I was actually planning to upload a video, and I just sort of spent the whole week just feeling really ill. I also just wanted to update you because you might have noticed that I have been a bit absent from Snapchat, that when I was in Mykonos, my phone broke and it just wouldn't turn back on, and Apple have told me that I have to restore it, but it means that I lose all of my pictures, contacts, everything, because I haven't backed my phone up since last March. So I am an idiot and it's just been a really stressful couple of weeks. I actually sent it to a specialist company to see if they could recover the data, and they've just told me that they can't. So they're going to send it back to me and then I'm going to have to restore it. So I will be back on Snapchat very soon. But today I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial for you. I'm going to be doing a Khloe Kardashian inspired makeup tutorial. The reason why I've chosen her out of all of the Kardashian sisters is because I really love the way her makeup artists use lots of copper colours on her eyes, and she always looks really beautiful, and I find that she's quite adventurous with her makeup. So I wanted to do a makeup look on her today. So I'm just going to start off by using my Hourglass Veil Primer, and I'm going to pop this on all over my skin. So Khloe wears quite heavy makeup because she is filming a lot for Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and she does a lot of photo shoots, and I think in general as a family they like quite glam makeup. So I'm using this primer because it really does help keep everything on, and it just makes the skin feel really nice and hydrated at the same time. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the skin, and I'm going to be using the Tom Ford Traceless Perfecting Foundation, and this is in the colour 08 Caramel. I am still quite dark from my holiday, so this is a darker colour to what I would normally wear, but I really love this foundation, and I'm going to be blending it in with a beauty blender. So this might look a little bit too dark at the moment, but once it's blended it's a really good colour for me. So I'm just popping this on with a damp beauty blender sponge, just all over the skin. So I'm just going to use my Cle De Peau Concealer. I picked this up when I was in LA a couple of years ago and I absolutely adore it. It's a nightmare to get hold of, but it is hands down my favourite concealer. I'm going back to LA in October, end of October, so I plan on picking a few of these up, even though they're like $70 each. So world's most expensive but best concealer. So I'm going to pop a little bit of this under my eyes. You only do need a tiny amount of this, and then I'm going to go in and highlight Kardashian style. So I'm just using a tiny amount on either side, and I'm just taking my beauty blender and I'm using the kind of angled side to it, and I'm just literally patting it into my skin under the eye. And what this will do is it will just blend it out for me. But you've got to make sure that your beauty blender's damp. Don't ever use a dry one because it just won't work. The thing is with all of the Kardashians' makeup is they have a lot of makeup on, but they've blended it, well, the makeup artist that's done their makeup has blended it so well. So they have layers and layers and layers of makeup on, which I know isn't exactly what everyone wants to wear every day. But the makeup artists really blend everything in so seamlessly, and they use powders, cream products. I mean, they use so many products. So to highlight, I'm going to go in with my MAC concealer palette, which is this one here, and this is in the colour Light. It's just got loads of different colours in it. I'm just going to show you guys. It doesn't look very nice at the moment, really sorry about that. But it's just me basically just dipping my brush in and it going everywhere. So I'm actually going to use a Real Techniques brush for this, and I'm going to use the lightest shade, which is like a yellow colour. I'm trying to find out what the name of this one is. It's called Pale Yellow. You can get this at any MAC store. So I'm just going to take Pale Yellow, and I'm going to also take NC20, which is the middle shade, just below it. But I'm taking more of Pale Yellow than the actual NC20, and I'm going to highlight under my eyes. So what I like to do is just take it down and across. like this. So this looks incredibly scary right now, I know, guys. And I take it all the way back to the temple like that. And then I'm going to put a little bit on the Cupid's bow. Just like that, and then just rub it in. And just a little bit on the chin. Like that. And then I'm going to do a tiny, tiny bit. I actually have quite a big forehead, so I don't want to make it look too big, but I'm just putting a little bit in the centre. And then taking it just slightly down the centre of my nose like that. And I'm just going to blend this side in, and then I'll do the other side. To blend it, I am using my damp beauty blender, and with this, again, it is quite time consuming, but you basically just want to be buffing it in. So using stippling motions like this, and you want to make sure it's actually quite damp, but not too damp that it's dripping down your face, but you get the idea. So now I'm going to use a concealer in a darker colour just to contour the cheekbone slightly, and I'm going to use the MAC Matchmaster Concealer in number 9. This is fairly new, it came out a year and a half ago I think, or last year sometime, and it's just really handy to use as a contour. Okay, so really you want to start from the top of the ear and you want to work down. So I'm going to just very lightly draw a line like this, just like that, and I'm going to take my beauty blender and start blending that in. When you're blending in your cream contour, you want to make sure you're blending it upwards and not downwards, because otherwise you won't have that nice sharp finish, even though obviously you don't want it to be like razor sharp like a knife, but you want there to look like there's some kind of structure there to your cheekbones if, like me, they are non-existent. So you can see I put a little bit there. I'm actually going to go in with a tiny bit more. And then I'm actually going to go just slightly around the forehead and then under my chin. And I look like I'm now on an episode of Botched. Okay, so now I have highlighted, contoured, put all my concealer and foundation on. I'm now going to set everything with my baby Laura Mercier translucent powder and my damp beauty blender. What I'm actually going to do with this is I dip the tip into the powder, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to leave the powder to set on my skin whilst I continue doing the rest of my makeup, like my brows and also my eyeshadow. So what I like to do is just let it, you can call this whatever you want, you can call it baking, you can call it letting your powder set, but I just like to put this on the areas that I've highlighted. Remember guys, this is like really special occasion makeup, or some of you might like doing this every day, but I definitely don't have time to do this every day, unlike the Kardashians. So to set everything in terms of contour, I'm going to go in with my Kat Von D palette. This is called Shade and Light. My friend picked this up for me from Sephora in New York, and I have used it quite a lot, as you can see. I'm going to use this shade here and the shade in the middle. So I'm using quite a big fluffy brush, and the reason why I'm using a bigger brush, because I don't actually want it to look too much heavier or darker. My makeup currently is quite heavy, and I don't want my contour to look even sort of too strong. So the smaller and denser the brush that you use, obviously the stronger your contour is going to look. It's the same with blusher as well. If you use like a big fluffy brush and hold it at the end of the brush, you're not going to have as much control, whereas if you're holding it here, obviously you're going to be a lot more controlled with it, therefore putting more on. So I'm going to take the two shades like I said with my brush, and I'm going to start off with the cool colour first, and I'm just going in with it. Okay, so just while I am waiting for all of this to set, I'm going to use my Tom Ford eyebrow pencil just through my brows. So just brush them up as always. You know what I'm like with my brows, guys. This is nothing new here. And I'm just taking it through. Just for reference, this is the colour Chestnut, because I'm not sure if I've mentioned it before, but I really like this colour for anyone with sort of like mid-brown to dark brown hair. It's a really nice colour. Okay, on my eyes I'm going to use Groundwork Paint Pot by MAC. This is just a really nice warm coloured base colour. Okay, so for this look I am going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette again. I'm going to be using different colours this time. So I'm going to be mostly using Venetian Red, which is that pink along the bottom row, and I really love these kind of warm, rich tones. Khloe wears a lot of these colours, especially recently, so I'm going to be doing sort of like a smoky eye using those reddish kind of pinky tones. So first of all I'm going to go in and use Raw Sienna, which is just a really nice transition colour, which is this one here with a MAC 217 brush. I'm going to take this through my socket, over my lid, and just sort of really blend it out. So you can see the difference between both of them. This is much warmer. Next, I'm going to take Venetian Red, and I'm going to start by placing it along the lash line, working upwards. And then I'm just going to start by buffing it out. Now that I've done that, I'm going to take Antique Bronze, which is this shade here, and I'm going to run that along my lash line and then just blend that out. And now I'm going to go in with MAC Copper Sparkle. This is the old packaging for the MAC pigments, and this is I think one of the first that I ever bought, and I'm actually going to use this on the lid on top of what I've just used. So I don't know if you guys can see that this eye is just a little bit more sparkly than the other. I'm now going to line my eyes with the Kat Von D tattoo liner, and I'm going to do quite a thick liner because Khloe does wear quite a thick eyeliner. So I've just done one side and now I'm going to do the other. So now I'm going to put on some mascara. So now I'm going to put on some lashes, and I'm going to use my Ardell Whispie lashes. I use these all the time. They are my favourite lashes of all time, guys. Okay, so what I like to do with my lashes is I use fingers. Don't use tweezers around here. Stick them in the middle. Push this side down. Then push the in a corner down like so. So now onto the exciting part. Well, I think this is the exciting part anyway. We're going to use the buffing technique which Mario, Kim Kardashian, all the Kardashians use him. He's their makeup artist. He does this. So once he's finished the makeup, in terms of he's applied his concealer, he has contoured, he's set everything, he's baked, whatever, he then goes over everything with a very, very fine milled powder to set everything in place and to buff everything away. So this is the bit that I absolutely love. So first of all, I'm going to pop a tiny bit of blusher on my cheeks, and then I'm going to buff with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder. So I've got MAC here. This is Blush Bareness, just a really nice nude coloured blush. Might not even show up on camera. And I'm just going to take this on my brush and pop this onto the apples of my cheeks. Smile. Okay, so I'm taking my powder with my brush, swirling it all in. Don't be scared, guys. Please don't be scared. But I'm going over all my makeup right now, and I'm buffing that powder in. You actually don't need a lot of this. But what this does is it makes everything look completely seamless. If you have a look at that side and then have a look at this side, which I'm currently doing, you can really see that this side almost looks a little bit airbrushed and that side looks a lot harsher, and this is the technique that they use. So if you don't already do it, start doing it, because I'm telling you it works. So I'm literally just going round in circles. You don't want to press too hard with this because you don't want to start actually taking off your makeup, but you want to do it enough that you're actually blending everything in. Okay, so now that I've buffed everything in, I'm going to highlight, and I'm going to use Becca Champagne Pop. Yep, you guessed it. And I'm going to use this with a MAC 133 brush. Down the nose, Cupid's bow, and onto the cheekbone. I'm also going to use a little bit of it in the inside of my eye. I'm just taking one of the smaller eyeshadow brushes because they always have so much highlighter on. Okay, so for lips, I'm actually going to be using the Kylie lip kit in Koko K after Khloe Kardashian, and Candy K, which is slightly warmer, and I'm also going to use the matching lip liners too. So I'm going to take Candy K first. The only thing I don't like about these is they slip out, which is really annoying. But anyway, I'm going to stop moaning now. So I've just finished lining my lips with Candy K, and now I'm going to use Koko K liquid lipstick over the top of that. I'm not going to use too much of this because it is quite pink. And then I'm just going to use a little bit of the Candy K liquid lipstick over the top, just because I find Koko K to be quite pink. And there we go, that is my finished Khloe Kardashian inspired look. So I'm gonna just zoom in for you guys so you can see I've really tried to buff the foundation out using the powder, and I absolutely love using that technique so much. And then on the eyes, you can see there's Copper Sparkle by MAC, and then the Anastasia palette with the Koko K and Candy K lip by Kylie. And yeah, I love this makeup. It's like full glam, guys. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next week, I promise. And I will be back on Snapchat hopefully this week. And I will see you next week for another video. Take care, guys. Bye.